Eberle still rocking that first line. Eberle still 12 points, playing pretty well up there. And we had Byfield 6, 8, 14 points there in 19 games played. And then Lafreniere just over a point per game there. Byfield, these guys not really progressing. Interestingly enough, they're 24. And I feel like they've lost overall points. Is that common for you guys to have your players lose overall? I think Lafreniere was an 89 about 5 years ago. Now he's an 88 with a high elite. And then Byfield, same story. He's been stuck at that 87 for a while. Shingtime, 85. Speaking of guys that haven't gone anywhere, Shingtime's been stuck at that 85 for a long time. But he's got some nice stats. 96 defensive awareness, 84 shot. I lied, not too nice there. Passing's not the greatest for a playmaker or this might be a guy we get rid of here shortly. I like Shingtime because he is $5 million for 2 years still. But I like him because he's fit up here pretty well. But right now, 55, 63, 61. He's put some solid seasons together with the team. 17 points right now. So the stats aren't the greatest. But man, look at those numbers. Look at those numbers. But he is playing with Kostesin, right? 16 points out of Kostesin right now, who's killing it. And 16 out of Seshnikov. So he is slightly getting carried there. But at, what do we say, $5.5 million a year. It's not terrible to have there. Savoie, now he's an interesting, maybe he's the one. Yeah, Savoie's the one that looks so much better. 94 passing, 95 puck control. His shots got some wicked power. No accuracy, unfortunately, but he should be a good playmaker. Not really enjoying that second line right now, it looks like. But he's still 8 goals, 8 assists, 6. That's Seshnikov. 3 goals, 7 assists, 10 points. And we have Frederick up there. And Cernovic, who's 2 goals, 3 assists right now. Is a good bottom 6 guy, not even really at a playmaker. Tanner Pearson, maybe that's what we're looking at as a problem. Cernovic's not really a bottom 6 guy with those stats. Look at that, 60 faceoffs, 85 defensive awareness, 71 shot, 76 stick checking. He's a good passer though. He is a good passer. Frederick, the power forward. We like having him because he is a power forward. And then it was, let's look at the bottom line here, how they're doing. -2. 7 points out of Pearson, -2 out of Wall, and -1 out of York. Now let's see what we're looking at here. Decent stats there, decent stats there, decent stats there. How's the actual stats looking besides what's on paper here? 3 goals, 0 assists, -2. Last season he was a -2 as well. He's been a bottom line type of guy. He's been a minus his entire career though, so maybe he's not the right player to be looking after here. 19 hits, 4 blocks, 9 giveaways, 6 takeaways. Interesting player, and none the less there. We'll take a look at the defense. The defense where we have been talking about the ever so scary potential of trading away. Was it Dahlin? I think it was Dahlin, right? Yeah, 1 year left. I don't think he wants to stay here, and that's the problem with him. Loves being on that first line. This is a team that is struggle boating right now, busting right now. 4 goals, 6 assists. 10 points out of Haggers there, man. He's got some stick defenses. That's him and Gianta. Look at Gianta's shot blocking. This guy is a shot blocking machine. Let's take a look at them shot blocking stats. See if he's getting the answers right there as far as that is concerned. Oh, okay. 661. That says there's something else. 130 hits, 94 block shots. Those don't seem like a lot. 94. That ain't a lot at all, really. I mean, a lot of guys average 2 a game. David Savard's 2 a game. I know that. So that's kind of surprising for how, you know, what his overall is there as far as his shot blocking stats concerned. 19 games in for Modine, -1 right now, and -1 for Jeremy Waugh as well. Same story there. Modine, we're starting to see him progress a little bit, right? Yeah. Take a look at how the goaltending's doing. Maybe we got some goaltending issues. You're tying in 904. Yeah, he's struggling a little bit there. Malcolm Subban's been 4 games played, 3 wins. Reasonable. Not really. He's got 3 wins with a 4 goals against average. Good for you, Malcolm. That's impressive. I think it's some goal support like that for Tynan. This team might not ever lose. 4.5 goals again. That's awesome. I love it. But let's take a look. Last time here, Dahlin, and this team has 3.2 cap space. We don't have cap space. That's the problem with Dahlin. I knew there was something of another there. And Gianta needs paid next season too. Wow. Let's see what Dahlin wants. Let's see. He wants 12 million. No, we have no chance. No chance we can keep him. Kostesin, Seshnikov. Maybe Seshnikov's a guy. I don't want to trade Seshnikov. Lafreniere being an 88 overall really does concern me, but I don't think you can get rid of the core there. I don't want to get rid of anybody. I don't want to, E. Can I keep them all? Please? Please, can we have everybody? That'd be great. That'd be nice. 71 million cap space next year. So we'd have 30 mil left over. They're saying potentially there. You got to remember that as well. We're going to be so tightly pressed against the cap. Shingtime might be the one to go, to be honest. Shingtime's not progressing. I don't know, but see, the thing is he has a low elite. And he is playing good this season. I just want to... I've been a pro Shingtime guy for a while. And now all of a sudden he's made the dirt list for some reason. I don't know why. He's been a great guy. What do we got here? In Modine, $4 million. You gotta like that. I want to filter by contracts in general. It'll be a lot easier here, probably, right? Seshnikov, Acostason. We even dropped Line last season. We're still struggling to keep guys. I'd really like to keep Rasmus Dahlin. That would just be beautiful for that first line D pair. But the thing is, it's not winning us games. It really is not winning us games keeping a guy like Dahlin. So let's go and take a look. Let's take a look at what NHL teams are offering now. I imagine the one thing I hope that does come about. Where am I going here? Browse trading block. Trading block. Is it trading block? No, is it player search? I don't know. Please, but find trade. One thing I do hope they update for next season, though, is they actually fixed it. I'm glad they added the find trade feature. Now let's make it work properly, right? Like, there's no question in my mind that a whole bunch of people want Dahlin. You'll watch him get no offers or very few. Michael McLeod. Are you kidding me? You got one offer and it's Michael McLeod? How's he even relevant still? Oh, he's an 89 overall. He's really progressive. Good for you, McLeod. You got a top 6 exact potential, though. And about that life, two-way forward, also not about that life. See, that's the thing. One team wants Dahlin. Like, come on. Come on, give me a break. Give me a break. Everybody wants Rasmus. You know, minus Buffalo. They give him, he's got full maxed out potential. We've got to, all right? We've got to trade away. Oh, I can't do it. I can't. We got to. We got to do it. Oh, we got Renz down there in the system. This is stressful. I want to keep him, but we look at this defense. We have 90, 90, 86, 83, 83, 81. So it's a bona fide defense. And I do like it for that reason. I think Gianta, you look at Gianta, we're talking, I wanted to look at Gianta, that was not looking at him. You look at Gianta though, and he's got first line potential, right? So we take out one guy, and we bring in another. Hagman might really be the option to move here. Is he better than Dahlin? We're talking, oh, look at that passing. Those are some filthy numbers. All I gotta say about that, and he's got 6 years left at 11 million now because he's cheaper too for 6 years, right? We're getting him cheaper than Dahlin, and he's gonna continue to progress. So we definitely got to keep him over Dahlin, even though his offense isn't as hot. It appears here. Take a look at a stat change here. There's not a big difference in his stats either. Hagman a little lower on the defensive awareness, but the passing is just so much better. His shot can obviously improve, but again, he's a lot younger than Dahlin, 3 years younger than him. So there's gonna be time for that. Johnson, you're not going nowhere, pal. Sorry to tell you. Modine, same story. Modine is a beauty to have here. Again, another guy that can first line it. We just have so many guys that are first line and only type of players here. That's what's really killing us. Who's the defensive defenseman? Was that Gianta? Gianta is. So, you know, it'd be ideal. You leave Gianta on the second line. You move Modine up with Hagman. And you find an offensive defenseman like Kostopoulos. How would Kostopoulos? I don't think Costa. That's the problem. These guys don't have chemistry right now, right? I think we might look Edmonton here. Man, it's killer to get rid of Dahlin. We don't have a choice. We might look at Hayek, who is currently a defenseman who's $5 million a year, which is kind of pricey there. But he's a defensive defenseman, which we love because we have a couple offensive defensemen laying around. He doesn't fit anywhere on this team, which is whatever, because I think we're going to have to fire this coach. I really do. We can't keep taking, we literally have every defenseman that can only play in the first line. We can't combo our first offensive defensive defensemen together, which would really help this defense out, I think, as well. Real quickly, though, before we jump on Hayek, we are going to, I keep forgetting, to go take a look at our standings here real quickly and just take a look at where our team might be struggling, because I want to believe that we got the offense here, and I want to believe it's just the defense is struggling a little bit here, and that 84 overall goaltender in Tynan should be able to get the job done. He's done it previously for us here. So we are Ottawa, yeah, 3.00 goals for, so not the greatest goals for. Well, it's goals a lot, 3.47 goals for. Yeah, so the goals a lot is way too high there. Highest in the league besides, what is Boston doing? Are they tanking? Hardcore, 4.24 goals against per game. My goodness. I'm sorry to hear that, Boston. If you guys didn't want to try, just let us know. They had 1 or 2 years of mediocrity. It's like, we're just going to go full tank mode. God forbid. It just hurts so much looking and saying, okay, we're going to get Hayek back, and that is it for Dahlin. I mean, we're going to look at what else is out here on Edmonton's team right now. Lindell looks great. We're looking at just defensemen, I think. Right? I think they still have McDavid, but we ain't trading for McDavid. We can't afford him even if we wanted to. But Edmonton's one to will and the other picks. That's what's nice. And what I really like about Edmonton is you look at their roster up and down. There's a lot of teams with some very solid teams up and down. Labo, that was an old player of ours, right? Labo, how's he been looking? Let's take a look and see how Labo's been doing here. Yeah, Ottawa, 34, 55. He's been solid. More importantly, what's that contract looking like for him right now? We're talking 1 year left. Yeah, he's about to get paid over there. So, Yamamoto, this team is just so good looking. And if we give them a defenseman, it really could become a playoff contender. And that is the obvious concern here, right? They have goalies they're willing to will and deal. They have a current goalie in Skinner. We really want to try to, if we're going to trade for a pick, we want to try to make sure we can maximize that pick is the problem here. And it's going to be a hard time doing that if we're not giving, but if we're not, whoa, hang on, Yamamoto. If we're giving them too good of a player and they're getting something in return. So Yamamoto is 2 years left, 4.9 million. That's a pretty solid contract there. Puljujarvi is 6 million a year. That is way too much. We're talking 20. Kruger here. How's Kruger look? He's a sniper. That's an interesting one. A sniper. We talked about changing the coach. We can slide a sniper under the first line. 80. Oh, that is not a sniper. What do you call that? That is not sniping numbers. 14 goals, 11 assists. He's been sniping a puck, though. He's been getting goals there. 86 by 82. The accuracy is good. The shot power is just, blah. But he is 23, and he still has potential, it looks like, here as well. So he wouldn't be a terrible add-on. I just don't like the stats on there. But he's, for an 84 overall, that's some surprisingly there. Lindell is always an option as well. We don't want to go down that route, though. We're looking as far as any other cheaper guys laying around here. I'm not seeing them because we could use some depth guys. There's a guy low elite 2-way forward. There could be a potential depth guys in Yzerman there. 24 years young, third liner. We might throw Yzerman in there. What's he getting paid right now? 1 year left, but he's still 24. He might not want a lot. I like the Yzerman edition. We might go Yzerman, Hayek, and we're going to have to throw on some big old picks here. There's no question about that. We're going to go Edmonton first there. And what we have to hope for with Edmonton is if we take 2 of their first, maybe they can't afford to re-sign Dahlin either. They got some big guns on this team. And if we can get a first for 2 years in a row, that might help us there. I can't imagine they're going to give us more than that. Ottawa would be over the 45. Get out of here. Get out of here with your 45 skater limit stuff. What do we have right now? Blue Jackets first, which is looking better. We have a Senators first, and a Blue Jackets fourth, and a Blue Jackets fifth. So we have some draft picks for this season. It's crazy to think we're like mid-rebuild here almost, but not really because the team's still been solid. Renz is going to be a promising player here in the future. Again, we're looking at the bottom 6 guys. Let's see what we got as far as players that we can send their way. We'll go forwards first because if we're going to trade for a forward, we're probably going to lose one, right? So we'll go, let's see, Costin, Byfield, Savoie, Frederick. Who was the guy we was not too fond of here? We could always trade them later, too. We don't have to get rid of them now. We might just go and see if they'll go with this trade offer straight up and move somebody else down the road if we don't need them. So we'll go, you look, no, you got a good overall there. We'll go with you here, pal. Demont, 2 first, a second, Yzerman and Hayek. It still looks like we're not getting enough. I don't know if we can give them that second. We'll have to go with another first. Doesn't it? The bar looks like we're still not getting enough, which understandably so. This is Dahlin. But, if we offered 3 first-round draft picks to them, they'd say not a chance. What do we try 3 first? Now we're getting more than they're giving up, which means trade still accepted. On behalf of the Edmonton Oilers, I accept your trade offer. So we just got 3 first-round draft picks. What was that? An elite, a low elite, medium elite, defender, and a bottom 6 guy. That was a tough pill to swallow, but he wasn't going to stay. He wasn't going to stay on this team, so we picked up 3 first-round draft picks, and it's gut-wrenching. Gut-wrenching. The first-line defenseman off this team. We're going to bring in Hayek and hope for the best here with this man. See, he instantly +3s at first. Oh, that's beautiful. He fits everywhere. That is a good sign right there that this guy fits everywhere because we're going to move Gianta. I was going to say Gianta that first line. It's not you either. Who in the heck was going to move the first line? It might be Kostopoulos after all. No, Kostopoulos can't first line it. Kostopoulos can't do anything. Sorry. Oh, it's Modine. Modine was the guy who was going to go first line, right? Yes. We put Modine there. Still a +3. That's beautiful. Hayek was a defensive defenseman with Wall that +1s it. With Kostopoulos, it bothers me so much that these guys don't have any chemistry here. What if we switch those 2 out like that? Nothing and nothing. So we'll leave it as is there. The extras, of course, we're going to have to switch that out as well. And we'll slide Yzerman down to the 4th line where he feels most comfortable, I think. We'll look at Wall real quick. Wall was a -2, 3 points. He was producing the least out of all these guys, but he does have good defensive stats. So we'll give him a second try there. And then Yzerman, again, we know he's a good defensive player. He wants to be on this line. 4 goals, 1 assist. That low elite potential. So I always forget he's got that potential in there as well still. The defense, again, is as is. The offense is as is. And I think we're going to go and take a peek. I'm assuming there's no head coaches out there. That is what is unfortunate. But at the end of the day, this coach ain't winning this games. We're 10-9. 10-9 under the current coaching regimen. Thankfully, we do have a first liner. Oh, we got some. Oh, that's our coach. Yeah. What is he right now? Take a look what he's got. 62% on the chemistry. He's A+ across the board. See, that is what's so tough about this. He teaches so well. And everything else, I know you have no concerns, but I have concerns. Hagman, see, that is the misleading thing. Hagman says he's got the scheme fit maxed out, but he doesn't. I guess we got to quit paying too much attention to that scheme fit because he's not maxed out. He's only maxed out in certain lines there. So that's a balance guy. Let's take a look at, I don't know, anything that's out here. Really, oh, we got an A+ forwards guy out here. I can't imagine that goes well with the defenseman, but we might give it a try. A+ on the teaching. 274 and 176. We wouldn't mind having a more offensive-minded team anyway here. I mean, you gotta, I guess at the end of the day, unless you guys get some pro tips here, just kind of plug and play and just see what happens. It might be the defenseman would go better. A- on the teaching, which is still solid. 306 and 222, 57% percentage there. Byfield still enjoys playing their costs, and there's not good chemistry with anybody on that, though. The conservative passive 2-3-4 check, 1-3-1 collapsing. Overload behind the net, crossing it behind the net. That is his chemist or his feeling there. We shall let's see. Let's take a look at the A-. Their teaching's not there. The chemistry is though. The B on the teaching worries me, but he's A-. The penalty kill is not as hot. I do like the way the team looks around this guy though, right? We got a couple guys, quite a few guys that really. Modine's looking good. Hayek's looking good. Yzerman's looking good. We may give Pog a chance here. The defenseman coach there, or do we go? Do we just like seriously just rinse, recycle, and repeat these guys? Parks is decent. Rycroft was obviously he's a good guy for he's pretty mediocre to be honest, or pretty average for just better. But we're gonna give Rycroft a chance. We're gonna give him one offer here and see what he has to say if we fire our head coach. The thing is EA gonna let us play with an associate coach here for a little bit? That is the question of the day. I imagine, I don't know, we'll find out, I guess, right? We usually, because we normally fire the coach at the beginning of the season, and right now we cannot do that. So we're going to fire you. We're tired of you. 10-9 start with this team, buddy. You're gone. Don't come back. Don't come back. 10-9. That'll learn you. He might come back. He might come back if this coach doesn't fit too well, but here we go. Couple new players, new faces. Dahlin out the door. This guy's probably wondering what's going on. We just traded a franchise defenseman, and Rycroft is a head coach now of the Ottawa Senators, and he picks up a big fat L in the first game here, but it's a 2-1 L. There's a 2-1 out, and it's time to talk about changing up the lines a little bit. Now we're seeing Eberle, Byfield, and Lafreniere don't get the +3. You love seeing that. That's great. Great freaking news there. Byfield and Lafreniere, the problems here, it looks like. How does Seshnikov look? Oh, good. Perfect. Kostin wants to be a third line. That's great. Seshnikov looks beautiful, but we don't need that up there. We need him on the... Eberle's fine right there. He's maxed out there. It's a good place for him. Shingtime might be the man, or is it Savoie that could get the big bump here? Savoie is a first liner now, and I like the way he's been playing. He might play really well up here, and that'll +3 that line. The question then becomes, how does Lafreniere play second line? What a weird coach. They want Lafreniere on the third line. Okay, that's not going to happen. We're going to go with that. Let's still get it's better though, right? I think the chemistry's a little bit better. What we was really worried about wasn't the chemistry for these guys as much as we was worried about the chemistry for the defense. And I like what these guys, something to work with still here, so it ain't a big deal. Well, let's see the defense, what we're concerned about. A Hagman Modine look here. No, negative. I don't understand why our guys are not fans. They are not fans. Okay, the only guy that fits there is Kostopoulos, so this guy's gone. All right, so we hired Pog. And again, is there a better way? See, the problem is it's almost impossible. I know you can look at like the player preference and the pinch balance stuff, but it's almost impossible for me to remember. I don't know how you do that. I would remember 18 players, perfect scheme fits everywhere. But this looks solid here. We have nobody maxed out minus, Hayek, it looks like, which could be a blessing in disguise, really. I know he's a top 4 defenseman. I was thinking that was a low elite guy. But as far as the first line's concerned, Modine's a two-way guy. Hagman's a two-way guy. We might leave that as is. And we go Kostopoulos and Gianta on that second line, which is still, interestingly, oh, it's because Kostopoulos can't do it. Kostopoulos, an offensive defenseman. Who was our other offensive defenseman? It was Jeremy Watt. Does Watt fit on his second line? He does. So should that +3 that line? Yes, that is better. That is better, even though I don't like the idea of Kostopoulos playing on the third line. So he's somebody that don't fit too well with this coach. The scheme is a killer. Scheme is a tough pill to swallow. Kostopoulos could be a guy that gets traded. We can't trade him, right? He's got 1 year left. 1 year left as an offensive defenseman. Again, some areas to be worked on there. Modine does not have to play on that first line anymore. We have anybody that wants to, other than Hayek, looks like the only guy with that +3 that line. It will. We might try Hayek up there then. Hayek with Modine, and then on the bottom line, I don't really care if the bottom line's only a +1, even though it is, you know, a little bit rough there. It is, or +0. It is what it is. A +6 or +3 for the second line and +3 for the first line. It's an upgrade though, right? It's an upgrade considering we just got rid of dahlin. We'll monitor that closely though. +0 there. +5, +11, +2, -1, and +14. So Modine, sorry Modine, we tried to get you some playing time, pal. It didn't work out. It didn't work out. I'm sorry, buddy. As far as the offense is concerned, again, I think we're good where we're at here. The bottom lines is what it is. Yeah, looking good there. Seshnikov, again, a guy with Lafreniere on that second line. That's a sick second line, though. Let me tell you what. We'll see if those guys can get some playing time there. As far as special teams is concerned, not much changing there. Well, yeah, we'll let Eisenman play a little bit. Why not? Let's see how this team does. Let's see how this team does in a year where we might have one more player to trade, right? I already forget who in the heck it was, but I think we had one more guy. Was it possibly Kostopoulos? One more guy in a contract year. That was a weird time for the trade deadline. I think the trade deadline is actually the day before. Is it the day above or below? I always forget. Here we go. Overtime dub. Big loss to the Blackhawks there. It's a rough season. Rough season we got here. Nemestikov, 4th round. Carrick for Grebshev and Allen. And I don't really have an interest for your rental player there, Buffalo. I apologize. Big shutout W. 3-2 there. We're seeing the goal scoring or the goals against lower, though. That's nice to see there. A couple games in a row. There's 4 against the Wings. You don't really want to have that happen. 4-3 W there. Speaking of the Wings, they want to give us a 3rd, 5th, 6th, and way too many. Just for our Blue Jackets first. You go walk away right now. We got to stomp on these Blue Jackets some more. The tide is starting to turn here. 16-12, 17-12. Back up to 2nd place in the division. It is a tight race over here in the Atlantic. The fact that we was, what, 7th? And just a couple weeks later, shot up to the 2nd place here. Boys are starting to buzz now. 6-5. That was a big W there against the Islanders for giving up 5 goals. There's a loss finally. Calgary and Arizona coming back, though. Bouncing back against the New York Rangers. And we got here Marino, 3rd, 5th for Bjork. We're going to say nope. It's not going to happen. Got to keep our bottom 6 there. Nice and stable at 24 and 15. Coyle. Coyle's a little bit old. Coyle's a nice one. We're not giving up a 1st round pick, though. How do you think Coyle's with a 1st round pick? I'm sorry to tell you, Boston. Boston's tanking, though. That was Boston, right? I was just assuming Coyle was on Boston. He might not be. I was going to say Boston's on a full tank mode right now, though. Dubé! That's an interesting trade. We'll take a look. I'm interested because I heard Dubé, and I think his name rings a bell. He's a solid player, right? Dubé, 86 overall. We're talking a center. We're talking -11. We're talking top 6 forward lines, and he's got 1 year left at 28. Yeah, right. We want to repay that guy. But you know what, though? They're not asking for a lot. Paris? They're asking for, Ottawa Senator first, of course. That this year's first. I mean, we're not gonna have a good 1st round draft pick. And Mallet is top 6 forward potential. That's actually an interesting trade there. I think he's a rental though. Yeah, he's a rental, so we don't really want to. I mean, if we want him, we'll go sign him in free agency, right? So see you later, Calgary. We don't need Dubé. He's not really that much of a necessity. McLeod again. They are trying for McLeod. We are not giving you McLeod, and quit asking for that Ottawa Senators 1st round pick. We're planning on getting bounced in a 1st round and getting a top 20 pick this year, fellas. Kubalik and Case. There's an interesting one. Kubalik's probably really progressed over the years. 26 and 19 we're going here, Ottawa. The trades are buzzing on in, though. We'll give it that. These teams want to get in on some Ottawa Senators action. There's a loss there. Teams falling outside of the top 3 again. Got to start picking up some dubs. There's one against the New York Islanders. The Blue Jackets trying to send Wenberg. Wenberg is not worth a 1st round draft pick, Columbus. You know that. You know that. Dubé, another solid option there. Still not taking him. Still not going with the picks either. We do like the idea of picking some picks up. But not right now. Kubalik is still not coming to the Ottawa Senators for the 14th and a half time, just in case you happen to forget. Pago! No, not gonna happen. Not today. W. Please, need one. Need to see a W. We're gonna have to turn off trade offer notifications one of these days because EA just sends the same trade a million times and a half. I like seeing them though. Every once in a while, they send a good trade. You know, like that Rasmus dahlin one. You just couldn't turn it away. But we're not giving up a first-round draft pick from Nemestikov. I can tell you that much right now. Carlson and Lundell. Ooh. Everybody wants Bjork. Everybody wants Bjork. Why is Carlson so... Is he expensive? 1 year left. He's a rental. He's a center. He's 34. That's why he's 34 years old. That would do it. He is a little bit old there. Even though he's a guy that would be two-way forward. And he really fits just on forward line 2 there for. He's having a solid season. And then there's a Short Roar who's medium elite. I didn't realize he had medium elite. Yeah, you ain't having that. Good luck. Thanks for playing up Vegas. He's talking business with you, pals. Carlson still. It's not going to happen. Didn't happen last time. Not going to happen this time. That is a huge trade we're just not going to look at because of how big it is. Something we do not hear a lot of. 33 and 23 for these Senators headed into the trade deadline. All right, so 33, 24, and 6. There's a player. I think we wanted to trade a guy because he was a bottom 6 guy and we didn't have room for him. I think that might have been what it was, actually. Now I was thinking about it because we had to replace somebody to put in Yzerman, right? And we'll take a look here. Yzerman himself could be traded if we wanted to keep Cernovic. That was it. See, we didn't have a spot for Cernovic. He's a playmaker. And how many years has he got left? He's got 5 years though, 1.825. So you can't beat that. The problem is he's a playmaker. And he doesn't really fit the bottom 6 area because of that. Appleton, on the other hand, is... Why is he not playing? I guess we just ain't got space for some of these guys. So we have Appleton. Is Paris a... Oh, he's on a bench right now. See, that's another reason these guys are trying to get Paris. Paris is a top 6 medium potential type of guy. Again, the playmakers, they're too easy to come by. They're too easy to come by. We'll take a look at all these guys real quick just to get an idea. Those teams willing to send trades for them. We just kind of declined like half of them. But they wanted to throw in a first-round pick too, right? And that was the main problem there. We're going to look at Paris for a Toronto Maple Leafs first-round draft pick. Again, he's just not a spot for him on his team. And he has some solid trade value here for a top 6 guy. And it's the Maple Leafs. So when we bounce him into first round, we're going to get their pick with it. We're going to out on a third because we're greedy. They said trade rejected. Couldn't willing what they're asking to send away. We're glad to that. You're trade back these, but the value is just off the table, a bit off. Okay, so they said a bit off. We might even just try a 4th then. If that wets their whistle. It doesn't. It does not one bit. I don't really care any bit much about a 6th or anything. We'll go a 6 for next year though, because again, that way if we want to trade it down the road, we can. Don't really want to use it in a trap. They're saying negatory. We will try. I just want to delete that. We'll try just a straight first. Just a straight first for it. And no. See, now this is why I like trading for other teams 5th and 6th though, because we can offer them a potential 5th and see if we can make this trade happen to upgrade our draft pick, because we have not caught much of anything in these later rounds lately. So 5th and a 6th, beautiful. Paris is gone. And we got a first-round draft pick for him. That was just not fair. I can't believe they just let us get away with that because we had no room for Paris anywhere. No room for him at all. And the other guy was, what? Essentially Appleton, who's 31. How long has he got left on his contract? 2 years. He's a guy where, you know, I like him, but he's a guy where we ain't really worried about using him. Him and Cernovic. Cernovic's the real interesting one because he's nice, top 6 forward, medium elite. I'm afraid to get rid of him for some reason, but he's got to go, I think. Cernovic's got to be the next one. I like keeping Appleton because of the fact that he is a 31-year-old and he's a top 6 forward. He's a 2-way forward, I should say there. And Cernovic's got that 5-year contract, though. That's why we like Cernovic. I knew there was a reason we don't want to trade him. I knew it. I couldn't figure out what it was. To keep a guy that cheap for that long, the problem is he's not got much of any sort of defensive pro, Whitestone being 5'9", and we don't have room for him, so I guess he's got to go, even with that really friendly contract. That's probably why he's got trade value, right? Because that contract is just ridiculously nice. See if we can get a team that is struggling this year's second-round pick potentially. I wonder if Boston has anything on that second-round pick of theirs. That's going to be an early pick. It's solid looking. Let's see what they think here. This Boston pick, they might send that easily. Yeah, all right, gone. So that's taken care of. We gained some draft capital, and we didn't really lose much there. So I'm pretty happy to see that is the way things went for this team here. 53 points for Lafreniere right now. We'll look at the team at the trade deadline. Make sure everything is going swimmingly here. It's looking pretty good. Just real quickly here. -4 out of Nicholas Waugh. Again, he's a struggle bus up there. Bottom line is struggling a bit as well, but that's going to happen. Bjork, though. Bjork's the guy people are trying to pick up, and he's got 3 years left. That's why they love that contract. Bjork, Yzerman, and Pearson. Pearson looks like the least a bit defensive guy out of all these guys. Who was the scratch guy we kept? Was it Appleton? Appleton it was. He is a little bit more defensive. Not really. See how he did last time he played up here for us. He was minus 14. That's why he got benched. He didn't play for us. He played for Chicago. Minus 14, minus 8. Chicago might have struggled, though. So that could have a little bit to do with it there. How's the takeaways looking? 42 by 43. So it's pretty solid on the takeaway giveaways, actually. We might slide him in there for Pearson. We'll see how Pearson's looking. He's 34 now. Pearson's getting old. 17 by 17. 9 blocks. Still not playing terrible, though, it looks like. You might want to have 17 points as well. I don't really mind him. It might be like Nicholas Waugh seems to be the bigger problem here. We might get rid of Waugh. If we move Yzerman there. And do we have a center? Tell me he's a scratch center. He is. Appleton's a scratch center. We'll try that out. That'll be the lines we'll give a combination world to there. Feel a little bit better about that one. We'll see what this team can do. Currently sitting at 33, 24, and 6. About to head into the postseason. And we'll go ahead and finish it on up here and see what we got. See what we got in store. Some more trades. Klim Kostin is still. Man, he's getting paid. Yeah, that money's $6 million a year. Finally, we're past the trade deadline. Now it is between March and the playoffs here. 35 and 25. 10 games above 500. Just outside of a wild card spot. These teams got to turn it up. You boys have got to turn it up to end the season. There's 2 dubs there. Big wins. Got to win a couple of these here. Got them both. Got them both. 5-game win streak. 6-game win streak. Ottawa is trying to push their way into playoffs. 7-game win streak. Make it an 8-game point streak. Make it a 9-game point streak. 10-game point streak. Ending the season on an 11-game point streak. The Ottawa Senators are on absolute fire to end the regular season. You just love to see it. You just love to see it. Ottawa playing well. I don't know where the offense is. I don't know where the offense is. How do we have 65 points by the best player? 60 out of Svechnikov. I get it. They're second lining it. They're still power playing. They're still getting a lot of minutes. And that first line is still Savoie, Byfield, and yeah, the other guy. Oh, Eberle. That's right. Maybe Eberle's been hurting a little bit. Maybe. But we can't afford to change that because it hurts the chemistry there. Unfortunately there. We'll take a look at how the goaltenders are. Actually, let's look at this plus minus real quick. Want to see how that bottom line's looking. Pearson, -8. You still suck, Pearson. Hayek, -4 for Wall. Bjork, -3. Not as bad. Appleton's a +1 since being here, so they're a little better. 7 points there. As far as the goaltending is concerned, maybe it's a goal has started stepping up. Yeah, tying up to 9-12 on a season, definitely playing better. I don't think we can change anything. I'm pretty sure we're stuck where we're at as far as the lines are concerned. I'd like to, down the road, maybe we find a sniper. Maybe we could have traded for a sniper. Eberle's down to a 78 now, but he's goal scorer, man. 28 goals. Doing what he's got to do over there. Unfortunately, Svechnikov is a one-line man, but he won't be along forever. And I do like Svechnikov on that second line. I would like Lafreniere on that first line. They don't like that. Byfield on that second line. Actually, +3's that line. Eberle's line. But we don't need that. Like, Kostin on that first line, though, could be something. Kostin on that first line. I thought Eberle was maxed out. Did it change? I swear he was maxed out there before. So Kostin fits better on his second line. I don't imagine that's going to change anything. I don't imagine that's going to change anything. No. I don't want to change Byfield, but he's a power forward. He was a +19 on his season. Kostin, much better. 70-point season, 60-point season. You put him on that first line. The problem is then you're talking about Eberle no longer getting that boost there. I think Eberle needs it more. We'll leave it as is. We're hot right now. We're not going to change the lines. We're over here trying to nitpick on things. After having a smoking hot March, who we play in the first round, we will see over here in Ottawaville, Detroit. Detroit, you guys got to sit down. We was thinking about making a trade with you earlier this season. We just didn't do it. Get these games out of the way. We're going to quickly fly through this first round. If we win, W. Make it an overtime loss. I was going to say make it a second dub. It didn't happen. There's a second one. Up 2-1 against these Detroit Red Wings. Series tied again. Series is tied again against the Red Wings. The Senators jump out up to a 3-1 lead. A 4-1 or 4-2 lead, which is also considered a series W. I think we're going to pause right there. We're going to pause right before the Tampa Bay Lightning. As for this video, though, guys, as always, I hope you guys enjoyed it. A big thumbs up, subscribe is appreciated, never required. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you next time.